Hello and welcome to 7 Super Series. I'm Ben for the Bonehead podcast and this is the Game 8 preview. Seven Super Series is our escalation league for the best way to play Blood Bowl Sevens. Sevens is a fast play variant with a smaller pitch, smaller teams, shorter halves, but bigger gameplay. We've got 5 teams facing off against each other across 10 weeks, then we'll take the top 4 teams and through a series of knockout playoff games, determine the 7 Super Series 3 champion. This is an escalation league, so no permanent injuries, and before each game a team plays, they will receive a single skill depending on their team tier. Every week on 7 Super Series, we have a match preview episode looking ahead at the game to come, and this weekend I'm going to be joined by multiple award-winning painter and friend of the show, Ian Warhammer Hannum, who is going to be running his own ogre team, which has been beautifully painted and even more beautifully stolen by me for this show, and I'm going to be playing Milton's equally beautifully painted Undead team. So preview show, we're going to go through the coaches, we're going to go through the rosters, the matchup, and of course, most importantly of all, the viewer championship. So Ian's going to be running the Stone Valley Saber Tusks, which is an ogre team now at tier 3 in round 4. They're going to have 4 skills, 2 secondary and 2 primary, to go along with just an unnecessary amount of strength. So we've seen the ogre team already a few times this season and they have performed really well. 3 strength 5 mighty blow pieces is not to be sniffed at when you can only have 7 players on the pitch. So the runt punter has got leader for that reroll on the team. We've got 2 ogre blockers. Both of them have now got block and one of them has got break tackle. Now break tackle on a strength 5 plus piece gives you +2 to a dodge roll once per turn after you've rolled it. Now ogres are edge 4 plus, so +2 to this dodge roll is going to mean that the ogre can make a dodge into the open on a 2 plus. It can get very scary for redeploying a strength 5 block piece, and it can also get very scary for an opportunistic move into tackle zones. It's 4 plus into 2 tackle zones, so ogres can suicide block or cage dive actually reasonably well with break tackle, and the fact that this roster's got leader with no loner on these guys, if Ian wants, he can walk that ogre into 2 TZs with a 4 plus and a reroll. That's a 75% chance of a massive hit if he wants to do that. Now those 3 ogres are backed up by 8 Noblar heroes for 11 players, so maxed out the roster here. Noblars die, but this roster's got enough people to keep bringing them back into reserve. And that is not all. This roster is also running a desperate measure. Now desperate measures are a lot of fun in sevens, but very much like weather results, they can be easy to forget about, which is a shame because some of them can be amazing. Now there's all sorts you can roll and they are a ton of fun, but it's going to be down to the players to figure out the best time to use them, and it is a completely random roll on a d8 at the start of the game, so we won't know until we're on the pitch what desperate measure the ogre team gets. But quite frankly, up against 3 strength 5 pieces, 2 of them with block, the desperate measure here is for the undead team. Will be piloted by me, and we've got 2 white blitzers, 2 ghoul runners, a zombie and 2 skeleton linemen. So this zombie is on the roster to always be fed to the rat ogre, whether it's a rat ogre on a team, whether they've got a croxagore, whether they've got 3 ogres. That zombie lineman's job is to be fed to the biggest, scariest thing on the other roster. So look for that guy to just be fed to one of the ogres at every opportunity. The downside is there's 3 of them. Normally, you can farm that zombie off with regeneration and high armor to actually just take a hit, get back up again, take a hit, get back up again. The difficulty here is that we might end up selling the zombie along with both skeletons to tie the ogres in place. What that does mean is if we can pull that off and they don't die again too quickly, 2 white blitzers with movement 6 and block, 2 ghoul dodgy runners with dodge and movement 7 and edge 3+, means that the team here is quite mobile, and up against the rest of the ogre team has a massive strength advantage. One of the white blitzers has got dodge, which means if an ogre does want to take a hit at him, he's going to be quite resilient with block and dodge, and both ghoul runners have both got block as well, so 3 blodgers on an undead team. That's going to be quite slippery. Not as slippery as Titchy 2+ dodge sidestep, but actually, as far as the ogres go, it's the best defense that the undead realistically can rustle up. However, watch out for white blitzer number 2, who has now got tackle going in to this game. He could be farming casualties against Noblars. So 3 dice on a Noblar, it's not the best. They've got sidestep and dodge. They're going to be able to flit around and it's going to be fine. When you get block into the mix, it becomes much better. When you get tackle into the mix, it becomes carnage. 3 dice with block and tackle on a stunty piece should be delete key in theory. So it's going to be a really interesting matchup here. The roster's also got a reroll, so once per half something that goes bad is going to go probably bad again, but we'll give it a go. 3 dodgers with that integral reroll for them and the +1 team reroll should mean that they can pull off what they need to pull off. It's going to be a case of 4 block pieces on this roster trying to take out the strength 1 pieces on the ogre roster, and the ogre roster is going to spend that time trying to take those strength 5 pieces and apply the same kind of level of carnage to all the strength 3 pieces here. It's a tough one. The ogres have massively got the strength advantage, and if Mighty Blow and Block starts farming through, this team has got far less resilience in numbers. Far less resilience. If we take out a couple of Noblars at the end of that drive, there's what, 4 more to come on and fill in that gap. If the ogre team takes out a ghoul or a white, it's going to start snowballing quickly. Karabberg, me running undead, got to try and choose when to strike and when to disengage, and when to farm off one of our linemen to just distract the big guy or get in the way. 2 block ghouls, 2 block whites, 1 with dodge and 1 with tackle. It's a really good skill set. It's just going to have to go right to work. Okay, so we've talked through the rosters. Now it's time to talk through the viewer championship. So every week we put up a preview video and we want you to guess the score for the game. You get 3 points if you guess the outcome right, regardless of the score. If you think ogres are going to win, you write ogres win, and ogres win, you get 3 points. If you write a draw and it's a draw, you get 3 points. You will also get a bonus point for each team whose score you guess correctly, regardless of the outcome. So if you say that ogres are going to win 1-0 and actually they lose 2-1, ogres still scored 1 touchdown, which is what you guessed, so you're going to get 1 point for that. So you can get up to 5 points. Now this is game 8, which means we've got 2 regular seasons to go after this one, and then 3 final games. So with this guess included, there is a total of 30 points to be won, which is good, because nobody has got 30 points yet the entire series. So you can still spike it and reach the top, because points are going to win prizes at the end of the season. What we'll do is we'll have a quick look at the leaderboard now, and then we'll do the full Star Wars scroll at the end of the video. Okay, leaderboard, first place, 23 points, Stevie126, and Adam Pike at 22, Olabayo at 21, Brad Barrett, Dean Wilson, New 3, Trevor Turner in 4th place, 19 points, Antoine and Sonoki, and then we've got a bigger pack there at 18 points, 17 points, 16 points. There's not a lot of points in it. There's a few at the top, but like we said, there's still 30 points left to win this season. And for Papa Z sitting down here at 9th place, come on, dude. There's plenty of points left to win, and we'll put the entire scroll at the end of the video. Just want to call out that we're going to close the voting every Saturday at 11 a.m.-ish, because the game will go out at 12-ish on a Saturday for our patrons and members, and then 12-ish on the Sunday for everybody else. Remember, full Star Wars scroll at the end of the video. Okay, we've talked coaches, we've talked matchup, we've talked rosters, we've talked viewer championship. I am quite excited for this game. This was a really good one with Ian. We played spoiler alert, we brought him on for both the final 2 ogre matches of the regular season, and he knows how to play ogres. So it's a really good matchup, and I think you'll enjoy the game when it gets to it. I had a lot of fun playing it. I don't remember the outcome, which is appalling, but it's been a busy Blood Bowl month. Anyway, I'm going to wrap up. Get your guesses in below, and we'll be back soon with more Blood Bowl content. Happy blocking. Thanks very much for watching. We really appreciate your support. If you want to support the channel even further, please like and subscribe. It really does help us out. Or come join us on YouTube Members or in Patreon, where you can get exclusive access to some content, some loot, early access to basically everything we do, as well as regular competitions. Or you can pick up some Bonehead Podcast loot either on our website at boneheadpodcast.com. We've got the Dungeon Bowl things, we've got tokens and stuff like that, or on our Spreadshirt site as well. Everything you do just helps us make more content and hopefully do it of better quality. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Happy blocking.